First of all, I would just like to thank everybody who has said that they are praying for me and giving their condolences. It means a lot. This is a very hard task. This is not fun by any means, and I was searching through my dad's paperwork all morning and trying to find like a copy of a will or any type of insurance company that he would have like had, and I found that out. But now my brother doesn't want to stay where him and my father lived. It was our childhood home. Like, I lived there when my parents were together, but of course I'm 25, so I moved out years ago, and I've been on my own for a while, and my brother doesn't want to stay there just because of the fact that he found my father. So my mom kind of threw in the idea that I could take over my dad's place. It's paid for. And it needs a little bit of renovating because my dad would start projects and he never got around to finishing them because he was always too busy working. And it's a bigger space than this. But I'm just stuck in a rock and a hard place because I have so many memories here at this house with my grandma, like taking care of her. But at the same time, I know, I'm trying not to cry. I know deep down that my dad would want one of us to stay in his house and fix things that he wanted to fix and finish, remodeling and doing what he was trying to do. And I understand my brother's point. He doesn't want to be there, and that's perfectly fine. But I just don't know if I want to live in that home. Life is so unexpected, and you can never prepare for a death, especially an unexpected death, and especially when it's your parent and you're close to that person, or even if you're just close to your best friend or your grandma or your aunt or uncle and they pass away, especially unexpectedly. You're dumbfounded. You don't think it's real. Like, I woke up this morning really hoping that today was a dream. And I went and got a coffee, and I went to my dad's and sat down going through his paperwork hoping to find a will or like a copy of his will and his wishes, because anytime we brought up that conversation he would get agitated. He never liked talking about death or what his wishes were. So me and my brother are both, since we're next of kin, we're his children, we have to decide, do we bury him or do we cremate him? And my dad was the type of guy that just likes to get stuff done, and I know that he would just want it to be over with. He was always cold. I know that if we did open casket, if he was alive, he definitely wouldn't want people staring at him. He would be like, what the hell are you staring at me for? Do you have a problem, So I think me and my brother wants him cremated, and my mom made a good point. I think I said it in my video last night, if we cremate him, I can put him in a necklace and carry him everywhere with me. It's just the fact that knowing that he was burned kills me, but I know that his spirit is going to live on through our memories, and I know that his soul, like his soul isn't in his body anymore. It left when he passed. I know that it's just a shell. I know that it's just his corpse. It's just the outer layer. And I think it would be great to carry him around everywhere with me, but at the same time, I wish that he would have left something so that I would know what he wanted. But my aunt told me years ago when they were talking about it, he mentioned he would want to be cremated. My dad had a couple of heart attacks until he was diagnosed with heart failure. So after one of his heart attacks years ago, he was inside of his boat, and my mom swung by to see how he was. And even though they were divorced, they still kept a good relationship for me and my brother. They were very good at co-parenting as we got older. But they were outside, he was in the boat, and my dad was just like, going to a gravesite is so much work. You have to put flowers on the grave every holiday and visit them on their birthdays, and you're talking to the ground. And I know that when people close to me pass, I talk I talk to them like I would just now to you guys. Like, I talk out loud, like, especially my Mima, like, Mima, are you with me? Mima, show me a sign you're here. And I'm still asking my dad for a sign to let me know that he's okay. My brother has already got his sign, but I haven't got mine. And I'm still waiting. But, you know, this is just really hard. And I have these periods where I'm okay, and then I just start thinking of all these memories, and I just burst out crying. And I just, like, one of the things I keep thinking about is that if I ever get married, he won't be able to walk me down the aisle, or he won't be able to see my kids if I ever have kids, or he won't be able to be there in person to see me graduate RN school if I go back for my RN. And it's just heartbreaking things like that I think about. But he worked a lot, and I'm glad that he's finally resting. He never wanted to take a break from work. And when I was going through his stuff today, I found a lot of pictures of him that my mom had taken when me and my brother were little and when we were babies. And every picture that he was taken in, he looked so happy and full of life, and he was a happy person. He always had such a sarcastic, funny personality, and that's where I get mine from. I get it from both my parents, but my dad, you know, his mom says that he's a spitting image of his father, and I see it. So I really want my dad to help guide me and my brother and my family through this and help us make it through. And I just want a sign from him letting me know that he's okay. And the hardest part is, you know, he's not here anymore, so I can't be like, Dad, are you okay? You know, Dad, talk to me. Dad, help me. You know, he can't physically answer me, and I just have to wait for his sign. And you can't ever prepare yourself for something like this, even when someone is expected to die. And like I said, I knew his heart was bad. I knew that his heart wasn't going to give him that much longer. But he had been taking breaks from work, and he was really trying to rest more instead of, you know, working 100-some hours a week like he was forever. He was a workaholic, and, you know, there were times that he would take a whole weekend off and take his boat out and go fishing, and I'm so glad that he did that because he loved fishing. Like, fishing was his favorite sport ever. Like, he did bass tournaments all the time, and me and my brother have planned that since we're most likely cremating him, we're just going to have a celebration of life at his place. I got to go over there and clean it after we get everything set in stone today. I'm meeting at the funeral home at 2 with the director to go over everything. And I'm still debating if I want to speak. You know, I want my dad to know that he raised me to be a strong individual, but at the same time, I'm trying not to act as heartbroken around my family so that I can be strong for them, but it's so hard because, like, I had a routine. Like, I would go to work and I would get off in the evening and my dad was home and I would eat dinner with him, and, you know, it's so hard. But it never gets easier, it just gets better. You know, it never gets better, it gets easier. Each day that you take towards finding peace, you eventually find that peace and accept the fact that that person has moved on and they're with you in your hearts, and you keep that person alive by expressing your memories that you had with them and talking about them. And, you know, when you see things that remind you of them, you know, you smile, and it's still fresh, and me and my brother are both just trying to process that he's gone. But everyone tells me that he used to talk about how proud he was of me. And he would always tell me that he was proud of me, so As long as he's proud of me and he knows that I tried to be like a responsible adult and make a life for myself, like as long as he's proud, that's all that matters. And I keep trying to tell my brother, you know, that he didn't ask for this. He didn't ask to pass this early. He didn't go to bed knowing he was going to be gone. You know, he expected to wake up today or yesterday and go to work, do what he had to do, come home and keep it moving. And things happen. That's life. You know, life is so unexpected. You never know what is going to happen, and this needs to be a lesson for me and other people that even if you don't talk to your parents every day or see them every day, you should at least text them or call them just to see how they're doing and tell them that you love them. I text my parents a lot, and I really hope that my dad knew that I loved him. And I'm so glad that I told him I loved him. That was the last thing that I said to him. He walked me to my car, said I love you, and I said I love you too. And that was essentially the best goodbye that I could ever ask for. And I'm glad that he passed peacefully. It wasn't a traumatic experience. It wasn't him at work suffering in pain from another heart attack or like his heart giving out. You know, he went in his sleep and in his own bed. And that's all you can really ask for. And I'm sorry for being so depressing, but I just want to keep you guys updated on everything. So today at 2, we're going to get all the plans in motion and get everything rolling. And then hopefully we can have the celebration of life Saturday. And then I plan on just having a small gathering at his house with close family and friends so that we can just talk about memories and stuff like that. So I gotta shower and I gotta get ready to go meet with them. And this is the hardest decision I have ever made in my life, to either bury my father or cremate him, because I haven't found a will. And I found his life insurance information, and the beneficiary is to, after we get the funeral stuff set up, you know, his life insurance money will pay for that, and then whatever's left over goes to me and my brother. And my dad always said that if anything happened to him, me and my brother would be pretty set. And my dad was very smart with his money, and I'm glad that he didn't leave us behind with a lot of debt. He always was very frugal about paying his bills, so that's always a plus. And I'm just stuck with the decision. I do need a bigger place of residence because my boyfriend's moving in and his bed is humongous, and it's probably not going to fit in my little tiny room here. And you know, my dad's place does need work, but I have memories there too. So hopefully, you know, I still have to go through his things and get, like, find out what I want to keep, all of the keepsakes I want and stuff like that. So once I figure out all of that, I'm just going to keep that in the back of my mind. Like, do I really want to take on his house and fix things, or do I just want to sell it and move on? We just have so many good memories there, and I feel like moving in there, I would still keep a piece of him with me, and I would be able to keep that memory alive. And even though my brother doesn't want to go back there, I told him, you know, you're welcome to come over anytime. You don't have to stay here. But you know, you can come visit. I know it's hard, but, you know, at least it wasn't a stranger that found my father, or one of his customers calling us to let us know, you know, that he was found unresponsive on their lawn, you know, while he was cutting the lawn. You know, it was nothing scary and traumatic like that. It was actually very peaceful, and that's what I'm grateful for. I understand what you're going through. Follow your first mind. You are strong. God is with you. I'm sorry about your mother. Cancer is horrible, and I'm glad that he, like, as far as the outside, you know, you never know what's going on in someone's mind, especially a man, because they like to hide their emotions, but, you know, he never acted like he was suffering in pain from his heart failure or anything like that. He was taking his medications. He was doing everything he could. And the phone call that I got Monday at work when my mom called to tell me that he had passed away, I knew that that would happen. And my worst fear, you know, because he liked to fish, I figured, you know, it would be they found his boat, but they couldn't find him because he went fishing alone all the time, or, you know, he was found unresponsive on one of his customers' lawns, because in the summer he was still cutting like 10-15 yards by himself. So that was my fear. And I knew because of his heart failure that his heart would eventually just give up. And I just wasn't expecting it to happen the day after my birthday. I wasn't expecting it to happen this soon, especially in a new year. I was starting this year off strong. Like, I was working out, I was eating healthy, and now I'm battling with myself, trying not to binge eat and eat all the crap foods that I had stopped eating again. And he was so proud of me for trying to lose weight again. And I was going to the gym 6 days a week, and he was always like, good for you, as long as it makes you happy, you know. And this was so unexpected. That's the hardest part. You know, you never want to get a phone call like that. You never want to hear that someone you love passes away, especially when it's someone who raised you and helped put you on this earth. You only get one set of parents. Whether it's your birth parents, your adopted parents, an aunt and uncle that took you in and raised you, like, they're your parents. You only get one pair. And my dad was only 57. He wasn't that old. But it happens. And God had bigger plans for him, and now I just have another guardian angel watching over me. And I know hopefully I'll eventually get his sign that he's okay. I don't know how he's going to give it to me, but I know he will. He let my brother know that he was okay last night. My brother was at the house, my dad's house, and in the spare bathroom, the shower cut on twice by itself, my brother said. The faucet, like the actual dial that you turn hot or cold, wasn't on, but the water was on. And my brother's like, what is going on? So I know my dad will eventually give me my sign that he's okay, and that's all that matters. You know, I want him to let me know that he is at peace, that he is happy, and that he is whole, and that he's watching over me and my brother and the rest of my family. So, again, thank you guys for your support. If you have any input, if you guys think that I should take over his house, like, what would you do in my situation, kind of? Like, would you want to take over your parents' place? Would you want to carry on the legacy of living in a home where you grew up? Or would you just want to be done with it, wipe your hands clean, and just get rid of it and start over? That's I need input. Like, I don't know what I want to do. So just let me know. And again, thank you guys so much for your condolences and support. It's really helping me. So many people on Facebook and Instagram have been reaching out to me and letting me know that if I need anything, to give them a call or text or whatever. And just having that support makes me feel a little bit more at ease, and just having people let me know that they're thinking of me and that they're there for me really helps me out, because I don't know what I'm doing. I've never lost a parent. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna take a shower, get ready to go to the funeral home. If anything exciting happens, you think I should take over the house and keep his legacy alive? Yeah. I mean, there's so many good memories in that house. All the time, like, when I would be eating with him, he would change it to, like, those MTV music channels, and he loved 80s music, like Poison, Motley Crue. My first concert with him was Lynyrd Skynyrd. We went to both Crue Fest together. We went to Poison together. Like, he introduced me to all the 80s music, and I love it, and I still love it to this day. Like, I should have grew up in the 80s. But, like, he would change it to those MTV music channels or the concert channels, and Kiss would be playing a concert, or it would be, like, that concert over in England that they have every year. I forgot what it's called, but that would be on, and he would just be jamming, rocking out in the kitchen, making chicken wings, or, you know, baking a chicken, or doing whatever he was doing. And that's how me and my dad bonded. I would work with my dad, and we would listen to music together, and he always was there for me through everything. Like my first breakup, my second breakup. My second breakup tore me apart. I was suffering from depression and anxiety through the roof, and he was really there for me through that, and he coached me through how to get back on my feet. Anytime I was stressed out because of school and work and my bills, he's like, you just got to do one thing at a time. Stop thinking ahead, just live for now. Think of what you have to do now. You know, he was an amazing man, and it's just hard. So thank you guys for supporting me again. I know I've said that 15 times, but my mind is all over the place. It's like scrambled eggs, and I just got to get all this done, and I got to do what I got to do. You know, my dad knew I was responsible and mature, and this is my true test. This is like his true test to me. Like, all right, Amberly, do you know what you're doing? So I'll keep you guys updated. I'm sorry for these like depressing, sad videos. I hate doing this, but I don't want you guys to be out of the loop either, and I love your guys' support. Anybody that's supporting me and consoling me, it really helps. It's really helping me try to stay positive and not slip back into my depressive state. That's why I'm trying to keep my mind occupied. So just wanted to say well, thank you so much. It means a lot that you guys are praying and supporting me and my family. You know, it was so unexpected, and that's the worst part. That's the hardest part for us. Like, no one expected this to happen. And especially keep my brother in your prayers, because he found him, and that was really hard because my dad found his dad, and then my brother found our dad. So I don't know what's with that gene in the family, but it needs to stop. So yeah, let me guys know what you think. Should I take over his house, keep his legacy alive, and fulfill his house with more great, awesome memories? Or should I just go through his things thoroughly, take some keepsakes, and wipe my hands clean and start over? So that's where I'm at. I'm going to shower now. I got to get ready because it's like 12:30. But I'll keep you guys posted if anything major happens. And I'll let you guys know all the arrangements once I get everything in stone. And thank you for your continued support.